Have you ever wished you could read people like an open book? Have you ever wanted to know what someone is going to do before they even realize it themselves? Imagine walking into any room and instantly understanding who's nervous, who's hiding something, and who's about to make a decision that could affect you. Sounds like a superpower, right? But here's the twist. It's not. It's a skill. And once you learn how to predict someone's next move, everything changes. You make better decisions. You avoid manipulation. You stop being blindsided. You gain power, real power. Power that comes from understanding human behavior on a level most people never even notice. And the truth is simple. People think they're unpredictable, but they're not. They're patterns wrapped in emotions. They're instincts disguised as choices. They're routines pretending to be free will. And once you understand those patterns, you can anticipate what anyone is going to do next. Yes, anyone? But before we dive in, let me ask you something important. Have you ever had that feeling that someone was lying to you, even though you had no proof? Or sensed a relationship was ending before the conversation actually happened? Or noticed a coworker acting differently right before a major decision at work? That wasn't intuition. That was data. Your brain picking up micro patterns you didn't know how to interpret. Today, you're going to learn how to interpret them consciously. Today, you're going to learn the psychology behind prediction. And here's the crazy part. Even people who swear they're unpredictable follow clear, measurable behavioral cycles. And the more emotional the situation, the more predictable they become. So let's start with the first principle. People repeat what worked for them in the past. Every decision someone makes is influenced by the invisible reward system in their brain. If lying got them out of trouble once, they'll lie again. If disappearing during conflict protected them before, they'll do it every time. If being overly nice gave them approval, they'll use kindness as a strategy, not as a personality trait. Humans are predictable because they're conditioned by results. Just like you, just like me, just like anyone watching this right now. And once you identify a person's reward loop, you know their next move before they act. Think about someone in your life who always changes plans last minute, or someone who avoids responsibility, or someone who always plays the victim to gain sympathy. You already know what they're going to do next, don't you? Because their previous choices reveal their future. Now, here's the second principle. People reveal their intentions long before they reveal their actions. Watch how someone speaks when they're planning something. Their tone changes, their pacing changes, their attention shifts. Someone preparing to leave a relationship becomes emotionally distant weeks before they physically walk out. Someone considering quitting their job stops future-oriented conversations. Someone hiding a secret avoids eye contact during certain topics, but not others. Behavior exposes thoughts. Thoughts expose intentions. Intentions expose actions. If you see the signs early, nothing surprises you. Now let's go even deeper, because this next idea is the key to predicting anyone in real time. People don't act based on reality. They act based on the story they believe about reality. If someone believes you're a threat, they'll avoid you even if you did nothing wrong. If someone believes you're weak, they'll push your boundaries even if you're stronger than they think. If someone believes they're a victim, they'll justify every mistake and blame you for their consequences. Want to predict someone's next move? Understand the story they're telling themselves, because they'll act according to that story, not the truth. This leads to the third principle. Emotion is the engine of prediction. People do not make logical decisions. They make emotional decisions and rationalize them afterward. And once you identify what emotion drives someone, you instantly know how they'll behave in any situation. Some people are driven by fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of losing control. Fear of not being good enough. These people avoid conflict, avoid decisions, avoid risks. Others are driven by desire. Desire for power, desire for validation, desire for excitement. These people chase intensity, not stability. And then you have people driven by ego. They act to protect their image. They never apologize. They never admit they're wrong. They never back down, even when they should. Once you identify someone's emotional engine, predicting them becomes effortless. Now let's add another layer. People have predictable tells when they're about to make a major decision. You just never learned how to recognize them. A person about to betray you becomes extra polite. A person about to lie becomes overly detailed. A person about to leave your life becomes emotionally flat. A person about to manipulate you becomes overly friendly. People telegraph their next move the same way a boxer telegraphs a punch, through tension, hesitation, and subtle shifts in posture and tone. Everything is information. And if you learn to pay attention, you'll never be caught off guard again. But let me give you one of the most powerful principles of all. Humans reveal their future in their routines. People are creatures of habit. You can predict someone's emotional patterns by observing their daily ones. If someone procrastinates on small tasks, they'll procrastinate on life decisions. If someone avoids difficult conversations about money, they'll avoid difficult conversations about love. If someone jumps from hobby to hobby, they'll jump from relationship to relationship. Small behavior is a preview of big behavior. And here's something few people realize. When someone suddenly breaks their routine, it means something is happening internally. A sudden change is never random. Never. People only break patterns when something emotional is shifting beneath the surface. When someone stops sharing details about their day, they're hiding something. When someone becomes quieter than usual, they're evaluating something. When someone starts talking about the future without including you, they already made a decision. Most people ignore these signs. But when you understand them, you can anticipate everything. Let's take this further, because predicting someone's next move isn't only about reading them. It's also about understanding the environment they're in. Humans adapt to their surroundings. Their behavior shifts based on context. Someone who seems confident at work might be insecure in relationships. Someone who acts passive at home might be aggressive with strangers. Someone who avoids responsibility with friends might be hyper-responsible with money. If you want to predict someone accurately, analyze them across multiple environments. Patterns that repeat everywhere are the truth. Patterns that appear only in one context are emotional reactions to that environment. Another powerful idea. People follow predictable cycles during conflict. Most people repeat the same cycle every single time they're upset. Some people explode instantly. Some retreat, wait, then come back when they want control again. Some pretend nothing happened until it builds up and they quietly walk away forever. If you know someone's conflict cycle, you know exactly how they'll behave in future arguments. Want to go even deeper? Let's talk about the psychology of anticipation. Humans have a natural delay between thinking and acting. In that micro delay, their body reveals the truth. When someone is about to say something they know will upset you, their breathing changes. When someone is about to lie, their blinking slows or accelerates. When someone is about to confess something, they hesitate not because they're unsure, but because they're calculating the consequences. The mind moves first. the body follows second. The action follows third. If you learn to catch the first two, the third never surprises you. And now let's uncover one of the most underestimated elements of prediction. People repeat the emotional patterns of their childhood. A person who grew up pleasing others will keep doing it as an adult. A person who grew up feeling abandoned will expect abandonment even where it doesn't exist. A person who grew up with unpredictable parents will unconsciously create chaos because chaos feels familiar. When you understand someone's emotional history, you can predict their emotional future. Not because they can't change, but because most people don't. Let's talk about decision making. People think they make choices logically, but 90% of human decisions come from the same 3 psychological triggers. Avoid pain, seek comfort, and protect identity. Every next move someone makes will fall into one of these categories. Are they avoiding discomfort? Are they seeking validation? Are they protecting their ego? Identify which one it is, and you'll know exactly what they'll do next. Now I want to share a secret that very few people understand. Prediction is not about guessing the future. It's about understanding the present. When you fully understand someone, their stress, their insecurities, their desires, their fears, you don't need to guess what they'll do. You already know. And here's the final, most important principle. People only change their next move when something forces them to. Pressure changes behavior. Insecurity changes behavior. New information changes behavior. Loss changes behavior. Opportunity changes behavior. But unless something disrupts the pattern, people will follow the same emotional script over and over. So if you want to predict someone's next move, study their patterns, study their emotions, study their stories, study their routines, and study their reactions. Humans are not unpredictable. Humans are consistent. Predictably consistent. And once you master these principles, you won't just understand people. You'll understand the hidden rules guiding every decision they make. You'll walk into any situation with clarity. You'll know who's trustworthy and who's not. You'll know who's about to walk away, who's about to betray you, who's about to confess something important, who's about to make a move that will affect your life. You won't be surprised anymore. You won't be caught off guard. You won't be manipulated. You'll see everything before it happens. And if you want more videos teaching the psychological strategies that most people never talk about, make sure you subscribe because we're just getting started.